change, talking all that's real. With Pierre at the wheel. Politics to faith, the latest trend. We talk it out from end to end. When the clock hits 12, you know where to be. Turn it up, Real FM, ride the frequency.
Welcome brothers, welcome sisters, welcome to our program Today on Target. And always remember you can pick up the telephone as soon as we start. The number to call is 442-0175. We on Real FM 91.9, 91.5. We also are on We Noise FM in Brooklyn, New York. And we always encourage you to share our program, like our program, subscribe. You got to give us a blind. You got to help the local station to grow. Based upon social media, it is imperative that you subscribe to the program in order to help the station to grow. More you subscribe, wider the reach that we have. Some people in other parts of the world were able to find us. Some Grenadians, maybe in Russia, China, or Africa, might able to pick us up because more people subscribe, give us a wider reach. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good day, Mr. Pierre and the listening audience.
Yes, my brother.
We could turn to any topic we want after, but I want to bat first.
And that's important. Welcome.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to one of our greatest political leader and prime minister in this country. I already said earlier today that there is comparison with he and Eric Matthew. It's different era, but I think he has done a very good job in his era, which we cannot forget. So I'm not really putting him 100% over Eric Gary, but in his time, I could tell you, he has been the greatest, and nobody cannot challenge that. So I want to wish Dr. Mitchell have a very blessed day, and hope that he will continue to be around with us for the rest of his life, as God wants him to. I wish him a happy birthday.
Thank you, caller.
Dr. Mitchell.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Pierre, before I leave, I want to make last 3 points. Grenadians, I asking you, please, do not make that mistake again. What we make by voting in Deacon Mitchell and his team into office. Because I know right now some people came to me and tell me they're sorry they voted out Dr. Mitchell. So I asking them, please don't make that mistake again. Because I'm going to give you, quick as a close, I'm going to give you 3 fundamental reasons why Grenadians should not vote back Deacon Mitchell and his team into office. 1, they divide Grenada. This is not a very good move. They should be voted out for that reason. 2, is the first leader what endorsed corruption in this country. And 3, is the first leader to waste taxpayers' money in such a manner without giving no proper accountability and transparency. So I feel, he have many more, but these 3 reasons These three basic reasons Grenadians should take off their mind. And I will keep advocating to you. As long as I have the length and the health and breath, I'm going to keep advocating to you, Grenadians. Don't let that happen to us anymore. I rest my case. Thank you, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar, and I think I have to join with you in wishing Dr. Mitchell happy birthday and Godspeed. I think in the political history of Grenada, his name must be recorded. He is one of the most democratic politicians that passed in Grenada. And why did I say that? While he in power, if he felt he had any internal wrangling, he went back to the polls for a mandate. He liberalized the telecommunication network. That is a significant and fundamental principle in democracy. I admire his level of tolerance to criticism, and this serves as a yardstick for other politicians coming up. Dr. Mitchell and the NNP was extremely tolerant. Sometimes when I speak about leader, I don't think about tangible things. But his level of inclusiveness and constantly reach out to the opposition members to work together. I thought when Dr. Mitchell brought in Richard Duncan in charge of FROC, I was pleasantly surprised but extremely pleased. Richard Duncan was known not to be a friend of NNP, but Dr. Mitchell went in, got Richard Duncan to monitor the economic discipline of the government. And I thought that was a good start. And during that period, the last 2 terms was the best attempt at governance in Grenada. So I applaud him. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, scholar.
Mr. Pierre, I want to say happy birthday to the Right Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell. While he was a Minister of Works and Infrastructure and Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou and Peter Martinique, Dr. Mitchell served the people of Grenada, Carriacou and Peter Martinique with distinction. He laid down a lot of landmarks the people of Grenada, Carriacou and Peter Martinique could be proud of. All sectors of the people of Grenada, Carriacou and Peter Martinique could be proud of. You have the cricket and the athletic stadium, the Minstrel complex, the bus terminal, the cruise port, the other development, the Imani programs, the building of schools, repair of schools, the road network in Great Carriacou and Peter Martinique, and development of the airport. Mr. P, NNP did a lot. And there is no other government come close to NNP or what it did through Great Carriacou and Peter Martinique. Even the haters, enemy of progress, they know that. And they will condemn a lot of good things. But I always say the people of Great Carriacou and Peter Martinique know what is good and what is not good. And Dr. Mitchell's legacy will live long with he and NNP as when they was in charge of the affairs of Great Carriacou and Peter Martinique. Dr. Mitchell, in the good times and the bad times, he there with the people. He never ran away from responsibility. He's not a leader that run from responsibility, but a leader that will stand up and fight with the people of Great Carriacou and Peter Martinique, bring people together. He never have any intention that dividing people. Because what Dr. Mitchell saw, he not think for himself, but he see people. And aim and desire will always develop people's life. When look at games up here, the water, electricity, the development of people who home. Because I remember when children come to school during that time, Yeah, and their homework they do it all because they have no quarantine in the home. Before schools, they had to go, we go to school morning time, they're gonna get water and bring home for the parents to wash and to cook. Right now, they have water right in their home. That will call transformation. That will call development. And this is not fake. That's the reality.
Yes,
It is
scholar.
clear for the people going to compete to see the development and greater NMP and they show the commission, they transform, and that will call a real transformation. So, Mr. Pierre,
Thank you,
I
caller.
say happy birthday to Dr. Mitchell. Enjoy your body in perfect health. God
Thank you,
bless.
caller. Yeah. The number to call 442-0175. I think sometimes we have to be careful with our society. Otherwise, some very important and fundamental things are diluted significantly. And one of them is marriage. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, scholar, welcome. Yeah.
Mr. Pierre, I want to ask you a question. I don't know if you could answer.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Pierre, you was in agriculture. The pedialassi is for what? What is the work, the role of the work?
Well, I think that predial lesson is to help to prevent predial larceny and help to facilitate the farmers in apprehending perhaps those who rob the farmers or something like that,
All right, but
basically.
somebody come and say that my dog eat the animal and they send the pedialassi to me. The pedialassi come and say, well, look, I understand your dog eat your and this gentleman animal, and asking the animal how much he want for it. So this is why I'm asking you. If
Well,
is
sometimes,
for that.
sometimes you have organizations that are set up for agriculture purposes, and being in predial larceny, they may try to reach out to solve other problems. But if somebody dog, what you call dog, because we have a problem with that, dogs damaging animal, and if they see the dog and they know it's your dog, then
The person was not there, you know. They come and say, somebody tell them. They take a picture saying my dog in it.
you saw the pictures.
I see the picture, but they
The
tell
pictures,
me that my dog is
the
mine.
pictures you see,
I
you
don't
saw.
like-
Listen to me. Listen. The pictures you saw, the dog was eating the animal.
No, I don't see that one.
Well, then perhaps they should go to the police
Well, they go to
and
the
let the
police.
police investigate
They
that.
go to the police, and this is what go on.
Well, what predial larceny have to do with that?
This is it. That is why I say, let me come up, let me ask that question.
I don't know if they are given extra powers or so, but
That is why I was.
I don't know. Yeah, because nobody can teach anything except they want to lock up the dog.
Well, I don't know if they could lock up the dog. I don't know if they could do that.
Perhaps.
But Mr. Pierre, what I was talking about, I don't stop and talk about Mr. Taffer Pierre for taking out a bread in his mouth and put him sit down to watch who. I don't know what they said, put him to watch who. Because if you take out a bread in my mouth, and I don't know what you want me to do. And Mr. Pierre, with Sheldon, I never hear that Sheldon take government money. I never hear Sheldon make call to his boyfriend, to his girlfriend.
I think the
I
East.
don't understand what is that problem with Sheldon saying he had to pay back money to
Well,
the
I think
government.
that issue is in court.
I mean,
The Sheldon
you
issues.
have to talk now because it's in the court. You don't get in your price for the rights. That's why you have to talk. Everything we sit down on behind and we don't talking about what's going on inside society. Keep it like a secret and everybody just wiping
You
it
see,
on us.
sister, stay on the line and listen to me.
I'll
No,
sit on the line and listen to you. I will listen to you on the radio.
okay then. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. P.
Go right ahead.
Are you?
Caller, go right ahead.
Yes. First of all, I want to. Yes. First of all,
Caller, what happened? You listen to the radio?
his contribution that he has made. No. The radio off.
Then let's go ahead.
Right. So I'm speaking. I don't think my internet maybe dropped. Yes. So I want to say that the contribution that he has made could have remained in Washington. Washington, come down to Grenada with his people and help his people. Yes, he has changed the economical landscape of Grenada. He has changed the mindset of people, even telecommunication, the way how we live, poor and ordinary people, to help them live a better life. And I just want to appreciate him for that. Even young people getting education scholarship. The money, that the best thing what could happen to young people in Grenada. The Empower program, when you see young men on the block, he put a program in place to implement young men to take full advantage of that. When you talk about infrastructure, talk Dr. Mitchell. When you talk about education, talk Dr. Mitchell. Sorry. When you talk about telecommunication, if it was not for Dr. Mitchell, we would not be having internet, WhatsApp calling and all this kind of a thing. Yeah, listening to YouTubes and all that kind of thing. To Dr. Mitchell, and I wouldn't want to give you flowers when you're dead, but I will give it to you when you are alive. And to see how some of the people who you help and by doing your behind, who you help the most, I will say to them, ungratefulness is worse than obia, is worse than witchcraft. Think of what are you doing to good people, and even some people, some of you who try to accuse him of dealing with drugs, some of you try to plant drugs in the yard.
Yes, caller, thank you.
Accuse him of briefcase, or you accuse him of selling plane.
Yes, caller, thank you.
Think about all of what he has done to you. Have a good evening, Mr. P.
Yes, caller. I was trying to respond to the sister with the phone issue. Sometimes we talk, but we have to get some information. I don't think any public officer who using a government phone receive bills for the phone. If you're using a government phone, you don't receive the bills. The bills go to the government. So even if you run up a bill, that will come after from the ministry. I think in Sheldon's case, it might be an administrative problems. And I don't know about anything about law, but it should not be a difficult case to win. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon. You come back with this charlatan again?
Caller, listen to me. Caller, don't listen to me. Caller, what we need to do is to educate people in the country. Otherwise, you're just running around with a political issue. So when somebody asks this question, the person never worked in the public service. They don't know. The NDC is using it as a political football, and nothing is wrong with that. That is politics. But we must be educated. When you have a government phone, I'll just hold the call for 1 minute. When you're a public officer, a politician, members of parliament, and they are given government phone, the bills do not come to them. So they may run up the phone bill and they don't know. This is an administrative problem. Sheldon's phone bill that he was using run up excessively. But did bills come to Sheldon? This is an administrative problem throughout the Caribbean. You had issues like that. Now this turned into a political football. And some people is speaking about it and they don't know the rigmarole, the nitty-gritty of it. And the Minister of Legal Affairs felt you have to go after the individual for political reasons. Well, that is the policy of NDC. Vindictiveness, retributive justice. So that is expected. But caller, the same way I give you opportunity to speak on issues, when people speak, particularly if I feel I could help them with information, I do the same. Caller, you can call now. The number to call is 442-0175. And individuals raise the issue of Tafawa Pierre. Tafawa Pierre have been a public officer. And perhaps the entire members of those siblings was in the public service. Teachers, agriculture, lawyers, foreign affairs. And they were in the public service because they decided not to travel. A number of families was leaving Grenada and go, and some family members, perhaps with encouragement from parents, decide, no, we must stay in the country. So Tafawa Pierre could have been in any profession that he selects as he chooses. He chooses to be a police officer. There is absolutely no justification by the Public Service Commission to force out a public officer because their wife is in politics. Now, if there was the keeper or the kept miss or the girlfriend or the spouse, they would not have been forced out. I saw that as an attack on the sanctity of marriage. I saw that as an attack on marriage. And I say to the members of the Public Service Commission, what you did was an attack on marriage. Because if the individual was the keeper or the girlfriend or the spouse of the minister, you would not affect him. Based upon the report from his job, you acknowledge the fact that there was absolutely no problem with his job. There was no blemish. There is no comparison in Grenada. What you did was vindictive. What you did was an attack on a married individual. There are a number of people who is married and marriage break up and etc. There are instances where husband and wife fighting on one another, they're in different political party. But to recognize this individual seems do it a pair to have a good, strong Christian marriage. And you attack it. I am concerned because I see the collaboration between the left wing, the atheists, and Marxist-Leninists, and the growing inclination towards radical Islam. And against this background, I am concerned. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
I am very, very concerned in terms of your description in terms of what is happening to Grenada. I think you're disseminating wrong information in terms of the progress this government made or making in stride. We've seen tremendous movement.
Why don't you give us
Comes up
5
education.
color?
Hold on.
Now, hold on, color. You are attacking me for my opinion. Now, if you believe the government is making stride, give me 5 strides that the government is making. Come on, color.
That is very simple.
Give me 5 strides. It's not simple. Give me 5.
Only recently, they've assigned coaches in certain schools in Grenada. Isn't that the truth? You look at pension gratuity. You look at over 500 scholarships, right? You look at so many things that is going on.
Give me 5, not so many.
Increase in salary, right? And what you are doing.
Give me 5.
Mr. Pierre, hold on. You need to hold on, right? What is happening is that you are not coming and speak out on the progress that the government made thus far. So what I want you to do, to be honest, if you want more people to listen to your program and for you to be more convincing, all you need to do is give the government some praise for what they're doing, and then we will all agree and say, you know what, maybe you're hitting certain things, or maybe you're saying certain things that maybe we can sit down and reason with you. But thus far, I've never heard you complimented the government on one matter yet. Not even one. Remember, they've been in power thus far for only 3 years and over 5 months. And we've never seen that kind of movement in Grenada in terms of a government doing so much of things in that short given time under the leadership of Deacon Mitchell. And these are facts. So I think you should be happy as a Grenadian to see what is happening. As a former leader, as a teacher, I think you should be happy to see what is happening in education. You know? Don't you agree?
Will you listen to me while you hold the phone for a while?
Don't you agree on that? Because I heard you call it.
Thank you very much. Caller, you are very poor representation for a public relation, if that is what you're doing. I ask you to give me 5 positive things that the government doing. You tell me the government put coach in school. Schools have coaches. Maybe they increase the number of coaches, but you always have coach in school. What is it the government do? They increase salary. What is the government do? They give scholarship. The St. George's University considered Keith Mitchell as the president of education, or prime minister of education. There was no other government that had more scholarship in any period than in NNP time. The revolution gave a number of scholarship to some of the East left-wing countries, Czechoslovakia, Russia, Cuba. When you talk about education, come on, caller. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, my brother.
And good afternoon to your listening audience. Now, KJ, you really, if it's St. David's you're from, you're really making St. David's people look bad.
You're making people shame.
What I'm saying is that you are a supporter of the government. They ask you for 5 things, you know, whereas you could point out. You point out coaches, scholarship, increasing salary, and you cannot go more. You know, these are things to point out, man. You know, you listen to the program every day. When you come in, come prepared, man. I'm a supporter of the movement, and I can give 5 more distinctive points that the government would have made more than you, who is a supporter of them. You have to do better than that. Even the other gentleman who does call, you are a supporter of the government, man. You know, I find that some of the activists of the NDC in your area, they have a responsibility to provide you with some better information. You know, they're not calling. You are interested in calling, and you don't have the correct information to a large extent, and none of them don't see the need to assist you. Now, Mr. Pierre, listen to this. We have the European Union. We have the European Union. We have We have the African Union. We have the Middle East Group. We have CARICOM. We have ASEAN. They all see the need to harmonize the economy for the common good. Listen to this, Mr. Pierre. We have Christians in Grenada. One God, one Trinity, one heaven, one hell. How come they don't see the need to come under one umbrella? Some denomination will not even congregate with others. Some of them will not even associate. Some say eat pork, or some say never. Some say you cannot divorce. Others say you can. Some say you cannot divorce while you cannot marry again while your wife is still living. Mr. Pierre, I'm saying all of this to say that if the Prime Minister of Grenada is a fake, then Christianity in Grenada is fake 3 times. Have a pleasant day, sir.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you for the first part of what you said, trying to advise the 2 callers. And I'm embarrassed that members of NDC, they call in the program, provide them with some substance, some information, provide KJ with 5 or 6 things the government do. I could clearly come on the air radio and say 5 or 6 things they did. But KJ come in and KJ look at some well-educated person, help him, so that when he call a program, he could say 5, 6 things the government does. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller.
Mr. KG don't have anything to tell the public.
But that's what I'm saying. The NDC could help him because he calling.
Something he could point out what the government do.
6 things asking for 5 or 6.
You check it out. Why you don't say tell the government he doing something wrong, giving me $1,500 to come and lie on the radio?
It doesn't matter if they're giving him money or not. But what is happening is that they could help him. One of the ministers give him 6, 7 things that he does.
Don't want to help him and to say what and to do what, and they know what they do. What they do.
Well,
that is it, Mr. Pierre. Enjoy your day.
Yes, we always have to have a lot of patience and try to accommodate individuals, because otherwise what going to happen to the country? The government, I have said from day one that the Prime Minister is leading this country down a wrong trajectory. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good evening. Mr. Pierre, you don't see KJ come out like the Prime Minister, because remember, last time he say how you have to, the uneducated people who are calling you, how you have to give them correction. But Mr. Pierre, I'm trying to tell you, your program is a very good program. And you know, people calling me and tell me how, owing to you have KJ calling and talk stupidness, and the man was call Mr. Pierre, you know, they tell me they don't listen to the program anymore. You understand?
But we have to tolerate. What are we going to do? We'll kill one another in Grenada?
No,
we have to tolerate one another.
Pierre, every minute, when you ask KJ to give you 6 good things from what the government do, he's talking a set of chatter. If KJ debate on the travel, the Prime Minister traveling, if he debate on the Prime Minister say he don't know who is the real NDC, that's why NNP people get in. If he debate on how the Prime Minister does get on with Miss Pierre, if KJ debate how he say how the people we hungry and with this and with that, I mean, that's the thing KJ have to come and debate on. And if KJ telling the Prime Minister, oh, what you're doing is wrong, you think. Because if I support the NNP, and if the NNP do something wrong, I go say they're wrong. But you will never get KJ say one day the NDC government wrong. So what stupidness is that? We tired with this stupidness. What KJ only coming and tack like you understand, Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Really tired with KJ. So leave with KJ on the program for we to feel happy.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
One of the issues I've raised repeatedly, and this one is fundamental to me, is the Grenada Development Bank. This one is not a joke. In 1973, regulation was there that ministers of government, directors of board, and the politically exposed people cannot get money from the bank. The Prime Minister of Grenada flaunted the regulation and raided the bank. And in my opinion, this is plain, straight, common thieves. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre. Our second lady will attack them because I get fed up with these two people who just call. Because
Yeah, but you have to be tolerant.
no,
You
no,
see,
no, no, no.
you see,
That is
caller,
nonsense now.
caller.
They pay them
If
to
you,
do that.
caller,
They
if,
interrupt in the program.
caller, if we're not tolerant in Grenada, what is going to happen to us?
Well, let it come out with
We will
the-
kill one another. It
What
happened in the revolution.
What
They
about-
line up people against a wall. Jacqueline Creft begged them. She showed them she belly. They executed her. They walk on the back of women in St. Patrick's. They castrate Broco. We have to be a more tolerant people in Grenada.
Well, they threaten me too. They more than threaten me.
Well, yeah,
Because
so
what
nobody will
about
do.
the minister where they go in the bank and take money and then he was not in ministry at that time. He was keeping EM business. He owed them people. As they come in power, the government go and take out money and give him to pay the debt. And up to now, he don't pay the debt yet. So what they don't talk about all that? Eh?
All right,
All the stupidness they come in and talk about. Tell them stop that.
Yes, thank you, caller. Another fundamental issue that I take a lot of objection to, and I chastise the union for that. Every time we have a structural adjustment program in the country, the group of people that is affected always the most are workers. Workers are affected. In Trinidad, they cut out cola. In Barbados, they had cut salary. In Antigua, all through the Caribbean. When you have structural adjustment program, the workers and people in the social safety net program are affected. So when the government decide to break down the guardrails, the economic discipline that was legislated, the unions first should be screaming about that. I register the strongest objection against the union and the union representative in the Senate for what was done. In my opinion, that is a criminal act. Most of the countries that have problem with the economy, it is because of economic discipline. This government is flying all over the world, squandering money. The prime minister want to be a billionaire. Well, he was a millionaire already. So those other ministers who was thousandaire, they want to be millionaires. How do you explain one minister in the first 3 months of the government, he claimed he had less than $10 in a bank account? Now this man say, and he referring to the next election, whether he lose the next election, whether he win, or whether the match draw, he fixed for life. He fixed for life. So that means in 3 years, this guy turned millionaire. Another sister from St. John, over $600,000 in the C-string bank account. And government were paying hotel bills that was run up. We have a prime minister that is accepting gifts from companies and individuals. This is a no-no. That is corruption. That is what you call bribery. The Prime Minister of Grenada accepted 1,000 cricket kits. The individual could have donated the cricket kits to education or sports. He gave it to the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister used it for his political issues. That is unacceptable. We had rumored that the Prime Minister received one gift in excess of $30,000. That was not surrendered to the Integrity Committee. These things is This is madness. This is corruption galore. How could you compliment a prime minister for increasing the coaching in school after he did this robbery? This is robbery with violence. Yes, scholar, welcome.
I realize you arouse the people's taste bud with false accusation and innuendos as how you're accustomed. But the matter is, we are going forward. The fact remains is that we are solid and we are strong under the leadership of Brother Deacon Mitchell. You understand? He showed what leadership look like. You know, over all these years, the millions of dollars that couldn't be given accounted for, none of the folks in NNP stood up and say, Mr. Prime Minister, you are wrong. So that's how I know. That's how I know we have leadership with vision. That's how I know we have a leader that understands what is education. That's how I know a leader.
Gentlemen.
That's what I know a leader is about. And that's why that you need to be truthful.
Caller, you're wasting good people's time. Man. You could do better than that. If you have a leader that you consider is visionary and he stands up in the public and he said the only reason NNP getting assistance is because he don't know who the real NDC is. If you have a leader with vision and he's a compulsive liar, he tell lies for the workers on contract. He told lies to the nurses. He lied to the teachers. He lied to every sector of the economy, including went to the United Nations and deceived the children of Christoph. I don't know how you could call him visionary. The governor of Lagos State chastised the prime minister. Chastised the prime minister in the presence of his children for sneaking in Lagos State. The prime minister bring a man in Grenada and he described the prime minister described him as a rich man. The prime minister have to be stupid twice and politically dumb. He had to describe the man as a successful businessman. Introduce the individual to the business sector, the Chamber of Commerce. He could have even bring the individuals to have a meeting with the nutmeg and the people in the commodity boards. He could have even let the students of economics rub shoulder with the individual. But the prime minister behaved like a glad boy. Have a cameraman snapping picture and running around saying he bring a rich man. Is the prime minister of Grenada a prostitute? Is the prime minister of Grenada a prostitute? You get a rich man. If your daughter come home and tell you get a rich man, you're going to watch her with pride? You're going to watch her with pride? She get a rich man. Daddy, I get a rich man. You're going to watch her with pride? The prime minister is an embarrassment. I don't know how Richard Duncan, in particular, cannot nudge the prime minister and tell him, Chief, you shouldn't raid the Grenada Development Bank. You can't do that. I'm so disappointed in these individuals that I had a fair measure of respect for them. The prime minister pays money for good relationship. What leadership that is? Look at what the prime minister turn the minister of foreign affairs, Joseph Andal, into a mama pool. Look at what he doing to the speaker of the house. I mean, even though you have some backdoor discussion, indoor discussion with the speaker and you expect him to take your position, you're showing him up like a fool. What visionary that is? That is not visionary. The prime minister is turning back the hand of the clock. He is vindictive. He contaminated the national lottery. The minister went to the prime minister and reported corruption galore in National Lottery. We have never had this corruption in National Lottery. And National Lottery was started in 1979 under Maurice Bishop, following the St. Vincent model. We have never had this incident of corruption. The Prime Minister fired the whistleblower. The minister who went and tell him, the minister that went and tell him, there is serious evidence of corruption. And he reinstated the board. The Prime Minister is the corrupter in chief in Grenada. What is visionary about tiffin? I want the children in school, take your phone and go and research the 10 most corrupt lawyers in the world. Because the Prime Minister is a lawyer, you think he's corrupt? What you talking about education? I have been on that subject matter. The productivity level in school is unacceptable. Some of our teachers are supposed to share that here. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, welcome. Last caller. How could you? The Prime Minister he has turned the hand of the clock back. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah.
Caller, go ahead. All right, we're having some trouble. Yes, you. After 50 years of independence, the Prime Minister considered some Grenadians as classless and commoners and beggy and cultural illiterates. And you have ministers sit down wrong the Prime Minister. And they can't tell the Prime Minister you cannot use these derogative terms to describe people. And then we go in and ask for reparation. So there's a joke or what? Yes, scholar, go ahead. All right, so we have, somebody must be having some technical problems. Sometimes it's a new caller that having some challenges to come. It's kind of sad. I have always said that the Prime Minister is a political neophyte. And yes, he could make mistakes, but what's about the people around him? Richard Duncan, you was in charge of FRAC. The NNP take you and put you in charge of FRAC because they know you were capable. What went wrong with you? Some of my other partners like Ray and Danley and my cousin Blash and Ali Hadim, all of them have paralysis at the tongue. They can't speak St. Jude, paralysis at the tongue, the union leaders. Instead of the union leaders want to come after me. How do you explain a Prime Minister that cut off the water for Maribor farmers? Because one farmer, they claim get too green. So they cut off the water from the farmers. How do you explain these things? When you do that, you divide in your country. You fragment in your country. You're creating bitterness and anger and hate. When your militants is saying, let them starve. The Grenada is a small country, you know. When you have a Prime Minister that travels the world, and he seems to be traveling just to make his billions. He's able to sell passport, make deals outside it. The Prime Minister lying so much, you don't even know what to believe. Because he's telling a lot of lies. Caller, that is the last caller for the day.
Mr. Pierre,
Go right ahead.
you cut me up just now there.
Caller, you have an opportunity to speak.
Yes, you're speaking about the Prime Minister traveling. I don't know what the man do his job over. Or you couldn't travel because those people that want all in the place, or you couldn't go in the place because all your record, or you can't go there, they don't want all of this. So all you can't travel was the farthest place all you could have which is in Washington. All you couldn't go no in Africa. NMP never go no part of Africa. And I ask the Prime Minister to continue traveling to Africa and try to develop good relationship with Africa and the Caribbean. I believe that would be the best outcome we could get. You say I depend on America. Everything is America. America want to watch their foot on us. They have us as little boys. And I just stick up, pay and keep myself stick up in the backside. Mr. The CIA put Dr. Mitchell in power for 25 years. If the CIA were having in power, I couldn't win no election with the CIA. So I don't know why you talk about the win election. America government put in there so they could manipulate him. They won't like the can because they said the can don't following their footsteps. They won't like him. So they're doing everything in their power to throw him out. But I can't the can to stand firm, forget them with their stupidness and go ahead with Alba, do good with Venezuela, to all of them and forget America the damn stupidness. Look now, America in real trouble. And all the foreign them. Are you going to be doomed when you hear the result of America? Go ahead.
Thank you, Colin. Yes, and this last part of the program, we believe that we must take a serious look at marriage in our country. We seem to watering down the significance of marriage. Marriage is a legal or formal recognized union of two people as partners in a personal relationship. A union between one man and one woman. And from a Christian perspective, it's a sacred, lifelong covenant between a man and a woman. And it's instituted by God. And it's rooted in biblical principles. Faithfulness, sacrificial love, mutual respect, designed to reflect the relationship between Christ and the church. And one of the main benefits and principles of marriage is procreation. Now, every living organism procreates. They make more. So people want to make more. At a certain age, a young man and young woman is biologically ready. But in countries, they say, although you're biologically ready, you're not legally ready. So the age for having sexual relationship in Grenada is 16 years. You could procreate. So a girl going to school 16 years, she could have sex. She could have her boyfriend. And if she's biologically ready, she could get pregnant. Now society comes in and make more rules. They say, yes, you're biologically ready, but you should not get involved in sexual intercourse. And some parents may give their children a reason why. Some may be much more liberal. Some may feel that the girls could willily and the boys could sow Israel seeds. But by the age of 18, it is accepted that you could get married. And when people get married, one of the results of marriage is procreation. You could have children. So if the girl is having sex or the boy is having sex, long before they're legally ready, they could end up with children. They end up with a child. And you also, more you willingly, more the chances that you have disease, sexual disease. The Ministry of Health will tell you sexual disease is on the rise. The government has dropped the VAT on condom. But I don't think there is an increase in consumption of condoms because because the prices drop. Because you have pregnancy tests and morning after pills. So protection is left up to the woman to take care of herself. If we water down, if we dilute the significance of marriage in our country, then you may find more people having children out of wedlock. Now, one of the reasons the child must be protected. When a woman or spouses have children, sometimes you need the partner. More often than not, it's better if you have a good relationship to grow the children in. The children have a better chance of being provided for. 60% of the household in Grenada are led by single partner, women. They don't have a man leading them. Not to say they don't get in man, you know. But they don't have a man standing up for them. Because we have constantly watered down the sacrament of marriage. We should be encouraging our children to get married. To take the religious perspective. Not everybody going to take the Christian approach. Some people are not Christians. And there is a growing amount of Grenadians that are not Christians. They're more left inclined, Marxist-Leninists. And we have greater inclination to go to Islam. And Islam not encourage you, but you can marry 5 wives in Islam. So a new culture creeping in. And that is very good for the men, because they like multiple partners. So you have the Christian marriage who encourage a covenant, a lifelong covenant between a man and a woman that creates a partnership ordained by God. And encourages spouses that you have procreation and education of the children. Many children suffer significantly because there is no 2 partners in the house. Today we see the growing incidents and the growing situation where women have to work. Some women have children and they do insecurity in the night. Now, who is seen after their children in the night? They don't have anybody. So they have to leave the children not as attended as they would like to make $1 in the night. Because they may have children from different men. I always say to some women, the car in the village that everybody driving, they just learn to drive good on the old car. But none of the men cares to own the car. If they buy a new car, they build in a garage, they're washing it down. But they do not treat the old car that they learn to drive on with respect. Maybe we should discuss marriage more. Maybe we should talk about it more. Maybe we should discuss it with our children or the young ones. And maybe we should discuss sexually transmitted disease more among our young people. Who knows? They might benefit from it. We must not fray the topic. We must not afraid to talk about marriage and the benefits of marriage. And time runs fast. Tomorrow, Thursday, remember we plan to speak about Islam, religion, Islam. And obviously we'll go into the Middle East. So those of you who shop with Bibles, you could stand by and you could give answers and suggestions. And thank you very much.
When the clock